Now the weather forecast. Tonight will be dry with clear skies and perhaps a few mist patches by dawn in low-lying areas. Minimum temperatures will be around 8 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow will be dry, but there will be thin high cloud around to make the sunshine a little watery at times. Maximum temperatures will be near 20 degrees Celsius. Winds will be a light westerly. Now it's time to end this evening on TVS in the company of friends.
Hang on. I really don't think...
No. Oh, no!
That's bloody impossible. I'm sorry for this game.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm taking 5. Why won't you play a game like that?
That's the aim.
Do you not find, though, Hugh, that, you know, I find that life's problems can be so insurmountable sometimes. I mean, you've been a bishop, you're retired now, but you're a person that people will expect to be able to sort out their problems, now however mangled they are.
Yeah.
So you're meant to come up with the answers. Is that not difficult?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely wrong. I don't think I come up with answers. I think my job, I think anybody's job as a counsellor, is to try to help people to find their own answers. And that means they've got to find out the truth about themselves
However
and be
painful,
open. Yeah, however, and that's very painful.
So what about when you've got your own problems? Who helps you to find your
answers? Well, I think you've got to
answers?
find out about yourself again. I think that's what a counsellor can do, can ask questions and allow people to see without feeling too much, you know, because I think many of our truths are obscured by feeling.
That's it. They say that being a counsellor isn't giving advice, but letting the person room enough to think the problems out themselves.
When you've got a problem, you don't want to think it out yourself. You want somebody to give you some advice on to how to overcome it.
But do you find that easy? I've never found that easy to actually go to someone else with. I always feel embarrassed. It's something that, you know, it's never happened to anyone else. Sometimes maybe some of the solving it is finding out other people actually have the same feelings
and how they actually got through their problems. Maybe that's not how you're going to get through your problems, but maybe it's a way.
It's an encouragagement, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you're the only one who's suffering.
I think people often only go to ask advice when it becomes absolutely intolerable, you know. They find their lives in a total jam. Then I think it can be awfully helpful, as long as they don't expect answers from above. As long as they realise, at the end of the day, it's got to come out of themselves.
I always admire my dad because, I mean, most of the problems that seem to affect me are money. It's always money, you know, money that you can't go somewhere, you can't buy something new. I mean, that sounds very trite, but I mean, it infiltrates everything that you do, you know. But my father, I mean, he brought up 7 kids, I'm one of them. And it's a frightening thing, you know, if you're responsible for it. But he always said to me, you never seem to worry about it. And then maybe he took it to bed with him, but he seemed to have an ability to ride it.
Well, I think you may have touched on something very important there, that worrying about a problem never helps you to solve it.
No.
Because the more you worry about it, the more it seems to get out of your grip, don't you think so?
Yeah, well, that's what they said to me when I first started being ill with ulcerative colitis. They said it's all through stress, it's all through worry. Stop worrying. In fact, it wasn't. It was an allergy. But, you know, they gave me all this great advice. You just sit things down, you write it all down, and then you've got the answer.
It's all right to say not worry about it. When you're faced with a problem yourself, I mean,
That's right.
what are you going to do?
Well, I think this is where it's so helpful to talk about it with someone else, because the actual act of putting it into words means that the fears about it drift away.
Releasing
and I think this is one of the help, coming to talk to somebody about it. Oh, I think this is terrific relief.
But do you ever find that, like, people that approach you, I mean, it's obviously they've got loads of problems, and it's which one do you tackle first? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, the wife's left them, the husband's gone homosexual, you know, or that they lost their job, and all together, I mean...
Yeah, well, you've got to ask them what's really hurting them, what's really... But, you know, this game is not about people's problems, it's about people's being all mingled up with other people.
Yeah, and getting
most of people's problems about relationships, really, when you come down to it. I mean, I know money is...
key,
relationships is absolutely...
Yeah, but I take it for granted because I'm happy at the moment.
Well... But I think people have terrible trouble sorting out relationships, especially when there are 3 people playing the game.
Tied up, getting cramp.
And there...
But whose fault is that? It's their own fault, actually. It's their own fault.
Again, another thing I think is that you don't do it in this game, but in life. I think you've got to listen to the other person in the relationship, and got to be open, rather than to think it's just your problem. It's the other person's as well. I don't know what do you think that's right? Did you feel that?
I think
Honesty the best. It's not.
well, it's all a bit
easy.
vague, all a bit of a generalisation, isn't it? Because it's all different for everybody. Everyone's views, everyone's problems are different. Everyone's answers
So
to
what's
these
your
problems
problem?
are different.
Dr. James.
Well, where do you want me to